the next 2 days. Yeah, so welcome again. Welcome, Geshe.
Good afternoon, all of you. What we learn is that I talked about the 5 ways. So, yes, the 5 points by which to bring about change in our mind, and all these changes, managing our, in other words, managing our emotions. These 5, not necessarily the 5, they can be even more. It's not that what I have, this is the only thing. They can be more. But these 5 are extremely relevant. And with this mind, how does it happen that with these 5, that transformation happens within your mind? For this, we need to know how the mind works. For this, we need to know how the mind works. And then we also learned, with respect to how the mind works, we talked about the 5 metal, the omnipresent metal factors. So this is something, and whether it is whether you are a believer, non-believer, whether you're a scientist or ordinary person, businessman, there your mind is working. And how your mind works is on the basis of these. Of course, there are millions of mental functions, of which these 5 are extremely important. And see that, just see how your mind works on the basis of these 5 and the activities of the mind. Thank you. The 5 functions of the mind. And I would highly suggest that that each one of us, after the class, today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow, particularly, so in fact, fresher, the better. So after this class, just see how your mind works on the basis of these 5 functions. For example, when you become angry at somebody else, how first it comes in contact with the person, or comes in contact with the unsuccessful work. Then you pay attention. Then yes, it is the case that this is so unsuccessfully, the unsuccessful, or this person is so nasty, discrimination. Then when you say nasty, feeling is invariably unpleasant feeling. But unpleasant feeling, you don't want this unpleasant feeling. This is a reality. The feeling plays a very important role in our life. In fact, you come for the class or you don't come for the class. Say the whole day, the last few days, you may be anticipating to come to the class. And suddenly there's something bad happen to you, like bad news. And that makes you feeling very painful, very heavy feeling. Oh, I'd like to go there, but today I cannot go. The feeling is unpleasant. So this unpleasant feeling can forbid you from doing things, can drain your energy, unpleasant feelings. So therefore, this feeling, unpleasant feeling, nobody wants. This is reality. And the point is, what do? We try to run away from the unpleasant feeling. How to run away from the unpleasant feeling? We run away from the trigger of the unpleasant feeling. And sometimes let's say that this is one thing I'd like to also just inquire to make sure that what we're doing makes some sense to us. Let's say that sometimes you have your immediate boss and you have the boss of the boss. You agree? You have the boss of the boss. And let's say that the main boss is very unhappy with you. But you don't meet with the main boss. You meet with your immediate boss. And the main boss gives instruction to your immediate boss that this lady is not not good, or this man is not good. You have to, teach him or her a lesson, right? And then you see that your immediate boss being too nasty to you. So you have unpleasant feeling. So this unpleasant feeling, you don't want this. Your immediate boss, are not really being approving you of what you're doing. So you feel unpleasant feeling. And you don't want to go through unpleasant feeling. So what do? You try to run away from unpleasant feeling. How to run away from unpleasant feeling? By running away from the trigger of the unpleasant feeling. And what is the trigger of the unpleasant feeling in this case? What is the trigger of the unpleasant feeling? Anyone? Your boss, or your immediate boss, or the main boss? Huh? The main boss. But you have no clue. You feel so normal. But when the immediate boss comes, then you feel unhappy. So you fail to identify even the trigger well. You're getting it? You could not identify trigger well. This is known as the ignorance. So smart people will come to sense that, okay, my boss will not behave like this. It must be coming from the main boss, from the top. You get smart people. Unsmart people, non-smart people will see the immediate trigger, meaning that my boss is being very unkind to me. For example, I remember you remember this one, the Mumbai terrorist attack, right? And then associated with that, who was hanged? Kasab was hanged, right? Do you know how old Kasab was? 20 or 21 years old. You're getting it? And next day when I was reading the newspaper, it said that on the Delhi street, people were dancing out of joy, right? Smart people will not dance over Kasab's hanging. Why? Because Kasab is just a tool. There was a mastermind behind. The real trigger is behind. So those people who are dancing on the street, they don't know about the mastermind. They just see the immediate trigger, immediate person, the 21 years old boy who was just shooting and think that this is the ultimate. No, there's a mastermind who can create hundreds and thousands of kasabs. You're getting it? Just get into one kasab. If the mastermind is not removed, the problem is still there. So this differentiates between how wise we are. Wise people will look for the root of the problem. Unwise people will look for the immediate root, immediate problem. So, unwise will go for the symptomatic treatment. Wise people will treat from the root. So therefore, the point is that even to identify the trigger of the unpleasant feeling, wise people will identify the root of the trigger of the problem, and unwise people will identify only the immediate problem. So therefore, our job is that the people who really succeed in their life, we see that these are the people who can really see the root. For example, even I would say that even marketing in business, marketing, for example, like say the Google or WhatsApp or Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, these people, what they do is that they can see the root of where the market is. They see that, the root. Whereas the ordinary people, ordinary simple business, they just see the immediate. They don't see the long term. So therefore, the point is that all these changes that is expected, all these 5 points that we discussed, so these changes in order to bring about emotional management within yourself, to manage your emotions, we are bound to face with difficulties, loss of near and dear ones, grief, anger. So we are bound to go through these difficulties, and because of which immunity disorder, say the breakdown of your immune system, all this is, and then this tendency for you to have a short life. This is what happens. So for this we need the management of emotion for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and then if possible to anybody who is connected with your people. So with this in mind, how to bring about these emotional changes or emotional transformation is by knowing how the mind works. Mind works on the basis of these, Mind works on the basis of these 5 mental factors. So this is something which each one of us, we should be very clear in our mind. 5. So the key lies, number 1, key lies in what? What is really driving us into all our actions? In all our actions is the intention. Intention, and this intention makes us to move or not move. That is decided by the feelings, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. It's because of this that one book that I would suggest for all of us is A Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life by Bodhisattva Shantideva. Okay, I may write it somewhere here. Okay, Bodhisattva Shantideva. His book, A Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. So this book tells us that for your good health, physical, we need mental good health. For the mental good health, make sure that your mind, overall mental state is maintained, calm and peaceful. It should not be agitated. If that becomes agitated, then everything will go down the turn. So agitation must be stopped. Agitation is the fuel. Just as a petrol is the fuel for the fire, agitation is the fuel for your anger. And anger disrupts your immunity, and which in turn disrupts your physical health. So with this in mind, the advice given is make sure that the feeling is not, disrupted. Feeling, always try to maintain a pleasant feeling in the mind. With the pleasant feeling, how to keep the pleasant feeling when the say undesirable situations happen? How to maintain a pleasant feeling? Feeling is determined by discrimination. Don't lose hope immediately. Oh, look, this is a situation, so what, you're hopeless. No, we have to face it. No? Just know how your mind behaves in related to these 5 activities. And then on this basis, see what triggered the feelings. Feelings triggered by discrimination. What triggered the discrimination? Attention and contact. Attention, contact to what? With the information. So we should make sure that we need to have a vast information, a lot of information, and correct information, deep information, profound information, not just a shallow information, very profound information. For example, like say about health. You Google search, you find something, but oftentimes they are very shallow information. So for say medical health, you Google search, you get something, don't feel complacent with that. Go for the experts. For example, if you want to go for the allergy, to know something about the allergy, Google search, you get something. From there, then go to Dr. Anidaji. You're getting it? Expert on allergy. So this is how we have to proceed. For deeper information, vast information. And that makes the discrimination extremely wise. With the discrimination, wise discrimination, then last time we talked about, say, I feel lonely versus I feel the privacy. You're getting it? So this is all about the broader information, deeper information. You can process information in from different ways. So that way, say what you feel as, say, the loneliness. That's different. Another person can see that as a privacy. And for some people, let's say that, say, a loss of a near and dear ones, so much of pain and grief. For one person, there's so much of pain and grief, and person can hardly, at times, it's quite scary. Say, in a family, somebody passes away, then someone else who deeply into grief, the person also doesn't live too long. So it's very sad. So whereas another person can take it very differently. This grief is very painful. And this grief can come anytime. It's not just one time. For one person, bad things can happen one after back to back. And may not be back to back right now, but then, as I said earlier, young people, younger you are, so more and more bad news to hear waiting for you. So older ones, like myself, we already heard all these bad news already, and still there are many more to come. So under such situation, if you know how to deal with one problem, if you learn how to deal with one problem, then that suffices in dealing with hundreds of problems, because you're bound to face with the same situation hundreds of times in the future. You can deal with them all easily. Okay, for this, if you don't understand it too well, let me give the real life example. Say, how many of you are in the area of editorial, editing books, editing articles, and so forth? Anyone? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Some 3 of you just tell me whether it's true or not. Say that you come up with the article and you say that I identify so many mistakes, and you feel so demoralized that, oh look, I'm so poor, my writing skill, I don't have the writing skill, look, there are so many mistakes. I tell them that there are not many mistakes. One mistake, one spelling mistake, grammar mistake that you make, this is repeated 10, 20 times. 10 mistakes repeated 10 times means 100 mistakes. Actually, there are not 100 mistakes, only 10 mistakes. If you don't fix these problems, if you don't identify these mistakes, if you don't learn how to fix these mistakes, you'll continue to see hundreds of corrections every day. Whereas if you identify these 10 mistakes, next time all the hundreds of corrections are unnecessary. They will not happen again. You fix one problem, the remaining 100 problems are solved. So this is because of you able to learn how to fix this problem during that particular situation. Sometimes situations, challenges are the opportunities for us to grow. How? Don't just say that, don't just put in nice words. No, challenges are opportunities. How? You should be convinced. If you're not convinced, it doesn't help. So challenges are opportunities in ways that the same challenge you will face hundreds of times in the future. If you learn how to fix one challenge today, because I encountered with this particular situation, then all the hundreds of the challenges that the same 100 challenges that you are to face in the future will be solved by solving one problem. So therefore, for somebody, it can be deep grief. For somebody, this is a great opportunity for one to learn how to overcome that grief, and that you don't have to go through the grief anymore the next 10, 20, 100 times in the future. This is a great opportunity. So all these transformations, managing emotions, these skills happen by fixing your discrimination. Number 3. To fix the discrimination, you need to have the vast knowledge you acquire from the contact and the attention. So therefore, correct knowledge, not just what garbage of knowledge. You're getting it? Google, there are so many information, many of them are garbage. But there are some very good information. So we do have the vast knowledge, profound knowledge, correct knowledge. So with this, then your discrimination will become extremely profound, vast, and skillful. With this, the feeling is guaranteed. Your feeling is maintained as calm, peaceful, and pleasant. With this, intention will embrace, not reject. You're getting it? Okay. Embracing, your mind embraces something, is pleasant or unpleasant? Is nice or not nice? Nice. Your mind rejects something, pleasant, unpleasant? Very unpleasant. You're getting it? This is where you unnecessarily so much of energy is drained. So this is how the emotional management works. So now with this in mind, of the continuation from where we left yesterday. Okay, so this is where we left yesterday. So what we said is that all are problems. All are problems. Problems means mental intention to reject, disturbance. That is because of unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling because of the particular discrimination. That particular discrimination is because of your failure to know the reality, how to manage things. Your failure to know the reality. Why you fail to know the reality? Because you do not have the correct information, vast information, and the deep information through the contact and the attention. Now, so from this what we learned, and also from what we learned about the dream and waking up from the dream. Nightmare, because of the ignorance, and the freedom from the nightmare because of waking up to get the wisdom. So wisdom leads to the freedom from miseries, and the ignorance leads to misery. So this is what we have learned the last 2 days. So with this, of the first verse of this text is so precious. Can you see this? Those are the back. Mag, Mark, can you see? Can you read? Okay, good. Okay, Mark, if you can read it, I'm not surprised you're very young. Elders, right? Okay, there's no elders actually. Okay, so if you can read, good enough. So it says that the verse number 2, whatever degenerations meaning miseries, problems that we go through. And how many of you went through degenerations, miseries, presence in your life? Or how many of you have no clue? What is degeneration? What is problem? What is suffering? I don't know. Presence? Are you sure? Because Mark is very good. Right? Mac, you have no problem. Because Mark is good. Right? If Mark is not good, you will be a big problem. You will be a severe problem. You're getting it? Okay. So the point is that, let's see, Mark is too young. Let us pray that he's being very consistently good. Right? Mark, what did I say? What did I say, Mark? What did I say? Be consistently good. You're already good, but be consistently good so that your father will not know what is misery. Right? Okay. So with this, what we see is that whatever degenerations there are in the world, the root of all these is ignorance. Because all problems are related to the intention of rejection. Right? And that is because of the unpleasant feeling. And unpleasant feeling is because of the wrong discrimination, close-minded discrimination, and shallow discrimination. So this is all related to ignorance because of lack of information, lack of the correct information, deep information, vast information. So therefore, it is summarized in this, whatever degenerations there are in the world, the root of all these is ignorance. So our job is, after this class, say, just think of any problem that you go through. Any problem somebody is going through, has went through, and see that these problems are nothing but a manifestation the resistance of the intention, on the intention level. That is because of the unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling because of the wrong discrimination. Is it true? Right? Then you analyze it. Is it true or not? And when you say, that's very true. If he or she had tackled it like this, this issue would not have happened. You're getting it? Which means that there's a different information which the person fails to get it, because of which they tackled it differently, therefore unpleasant feeling comes. Then the agitation happens. And yourself, your own experience, what's happening in your family, what's happening amongst your friends. Just check that if what is happening, all these problems somehow related to the wrong discrimination or close-minded discrimination. And that because of the wrong contact with wrong information, contact with incomplete information, contact with the shallow information. Okay, ignorance. So it says that the root of all these is ignorance. You taught that it is dependent origination, the seeing of which will undo this ignorance. Within the ignorance, again, there are so many layers. Within the ignorance, there are so many layers. How many agree with me? Raise hands. Ignorance, there are so many layers. Raise hands. For example, like, say, when you are in junior school, right? You have to be taught the basic of the solar system. Be ignorant of the solar system. That the sun is not in the, the sun is not, not that the planet Earth is at the center. Sun is at the center, planet Earth is moving around so this is, we learn this. One layer of the ignorance is removed. Then we move to the next. When I reached class 9 or class 10, then my teacher taught that not only that the planet, the planets are moving, even the sun is also moving as a part of the Milky Way galaxy. Wow, that's amazing. Again, so then my knowledge becomes deeper, more profound. You getting it? So earlier, what I learned is that, in the olden time, what happened was they believed that the planet Earth is at the center, not moving, and only the sun is moving. And then later on, that is proved to be wrong. No, the sun is at the center, planet Earth is moving. And then when I reached class 9, 10, no, even the sun is also moving as a part of the Milky Way galaxy. There is also just a tiny dot at one of the wings tips of the Milky Way galaxy. Just a tip of that. Wow, that's amazing. So my knowledge becomes deeper, deeper, deeper. So with this in mind, ignorance also, there are different levels of ignorance. Say, for example, how many we ordered something through Amazon and you say, wow, this is nice. You ordered it, what you get the object, but it's not that as nice as what you saw. Raise hands. Be very honest. Okay, right? Which means that it has one layer of ignorance. You're getting it? Sometimes say that you need a jacket and you say, oh, this seems right size. This is, some people, I'm not sure if there's somebody who does like this. Oh, this looks like a good size for me. You have not seen the size. Photograph will not tell you what is the size, but our mind makes some judgment. Oh, this looks like, this is too small, this is too big. No, photographs will not tell you anything about size. It is our presupposition that just looking at it, you get some impression, and on that basis, you suppose that this size. Later on, when it comes, it's very different size. How many of you had that feel? Be very honest, raise hands. Yes, yeah, right? Okay, so the point is, this is one level of ignorance. But it's not that everybody fall prey to this ignorance. But the fact that we go through sadness, anger. Okay, how many have been through anger? At least once in your lifetime, resents. At least one time. Okay, right? Mark? You also? Okay, was it that? No. Okay, yes, sometimes. So, say ignorance means underlying ignorance. Anger means underlying anger is ignorance. Ignorance is the foundation of all our disturbing emotions. And don't just believe in me. You're getting it? we study this text, and then they don't accept. Learn the skill. Which skill? Learn to ask the correct question, right question. You're getting it? This is what you have to learn. And also, I said something, entertain a concept without having to accept it. Don't forget it. What did I say? Entertain a concept without having to accept it. You accept it only when you're convinced. When you're convinced, don't accept it. You can entertain it. Oh, he said like this. I don't agree with him. He said like this. But you know exactly what he said. You know exactly what she said. You don't have to accept it, but you know what he said. Sometimes you don't even listen to what the other person said. So therefore, no, I don't agree with you. What did he say? I don't know, right? So that is the biggest of the disaster. So you have to know what the other person said. You agree, not agree, that's up to you. You don't have to accept it. So likewise, so from what we are learning here is that all our problems, including anger, at the foundation is the ignorance. That ignorance underscores all our problems. Which ignorance? Ignorance to see things as objectively real. You're getting it? Okay. Say, those who are coming for the first time, raise hands. Today, first time. Day one, first time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So those of us who are coming here first time, I would highly suggest you to listen to the earlier recordings. You're getting it? We have the information, background information already given. And then if I repeat all this again, so the people who were present the last 2 days will feel a little bored, right? Okay, so I know that you are interested in this because you came here. So you can listen to the earlier recordings. Good. So what we learned is that, say, okay, now, let's do one thing. Look at the other person sitting next to you. Just look at the other person sitting next to you. Look at the other person sitting next to you. Everybody's smiling. I did not ask you to smile. I just said, look at the other person. I did not ask you to smile. Okay, look at the other person. Dr. Shan, you don't look. Okay. I know that you are seeing her every day. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so now you do one thing. Don't forget that you smiled, right? You did not diplomatically, it's not a diplomatic smile. Invariable, automatic, spontaneous that smile came, right? Now you do one thing. You just close your eyes and think of the same person who made you smile. Think of the same person today, looking at the face of which made you smile. Think of that person's face. Okay, lucky nobody's smiling now. If you smile, it is time for you to go to mental hospital. You're getting it? Okay. Okay, now tell me, this is very important, particularly for those people who are missing the last 2 days. For you, this is extremely important. Just like the quick summary, like a crash course. You're getting it? Okay. Say in the first case, when you see the person's face, it invariably, it's spontaneously a smile came to you. Whereas when you think of the same person, the same face, you are not smiling. Why in the first case you are smiling? Why in the second case you are not smiling? Quick. Somebody quick, raise hands. Your name? Okay, what Sonalji is saying is that, okay, let us be more precise. With the first case, what is that? Subject, object, which one? The first one, in the first case, when you're looking at the other person appears as objectively real. Then spontaneous reaction comes to you in the form of smile. Okay. In the second case, when you're imagining, you know that it is purely subjective. It's just my mind creating it, just imagination. So your emotion is under control, right? Your emotion is under control. In the first case, there's no choice. The smile automatically came to you. This is positive. But undesirable person comes, right? Instead of smile, the heart palpitation can happen, which is negative. You're getting it? In other words, involuntary emotions arise when you see the object as objectively real. When you see things as, "Oh, it's just my subjective," your emotions are under control. Okay, to how many of you this makes sense? Raise hands. Very good. I'm glad. Okay, so with this in mind, see what we learned again, things that if you really want to go deep into this, that's your choice. If you don't want to go deep, that's your choice. But if you really want to go deep, you have to study more systematic. Okay, by the way, yes, actually, Mark should be quite close here, youngest one. Okay, I have brought these brochures. Yesterday, some of my friends are asking if I brought these brochures. So these brochures, you can just help yourself. I'll keep them here. Help yourself to pick up your own copies for yourself. And one is this one, the one in blue. This is these courses, these studies that we give in more detail. This course is just recently launched. Therefore, people can still enroll. It just recently launched, and all these topics, how things don't exist objectively, things are subjectively real. Once you identify this, your emotions come under your control. Then external factors, they cannot trigger agitation within you. Calmness will be there. Instead, joy can come. So all these things we study here, and the brochures are here. You just help yourself to pick up the one, just keep it for yourself. These all the information given there. And the other one is a little more advanced. This is 5-year course, just for information. You don't have to do that, but it's just for information. What are the things being taught there? All these are studied in great detail. For example, Dr. Anita ji, she did both the courses. And then the Pravinji and Elroy and Divika and the girl over there, your name? Afsha, and who else? Sonal? Joyce, yes, of course. Joyce is she picked it up directly from the 2 years ago. What I'm saying is that they have been doing these courses, and if you want to know more, you can get information from them. Okay, this is just for information. The point is that what I'm sharing with you is that finally it is our emotions. When emotions are under control, then we don't have to resort to anger, no agitation, no pain of the grief, right? No pain of the grief. Okay, I'll tell you one thing before I forget it. The grief is a major problem. It's a major, I won't say problem. It's a pain, acutely strong pain. And I'll give you one. Okay, there's 3 situations. I'll give you 3 choices, and you choose one. If there's a choice, you're getting it? Just speculate that there are these 3 choices, and you can choose freely, you can choose one. Don't say whether it's possible, not possible. Let's say they all are possible. Let's say all are possible. One is so much affection. Grief comes related to attachment. Yes? You agree or not agree? Grief comes related to the attachment. Attachment, or in a nice way we can say affection. So much of affection and so much of pain associated, meaning grief. At time of separation, so much of pain. This is number one choice. So much of affection, so much of pain. This is choice one. Choice two. Choice two. That no affection, no pain. Right? You agree? You have the first experience. How many of you have the first experience? So much of affection, so much of pain at the time of separation. Good. Number two. No affection, no pain. Right? How many of you have that experience? Raise hands. No affection, no pain. Right? No, your neighbor, particular nasty neighbor. No affection, no pain. Right? Okay. Number three. Okay, I'll give you four choices. Number three. No affection, but so much of pain. Number four. So much affection, no pain. Which of the four, if, I'm not saying that these are possibilities. If all these are possibilities, from this, which would you choose? Raise hands. Number four. Raise hands. Number four. Number four. Number four. Okay, good. The next question is, hey, what would be your next question? Okay, most likely you will say first, is it possible? Is it possible that we can have number four? That is, that you can so amazingly profound affection, abundance of affection, no pain. Is it possible in the first place? Number one. If I say yes, then what's the next question? How? How to have it? These are the two questions. You're getting it? Okay. First, answer is 100% yes. 100% yes. Before I tell you how to reach there, I'd like to tell you that if you feel that no, with affection, the pain is invariable. Pain is what is that? Inevitable. Inevitable. It cannot be separate from this affection. Where there's the more the affection, the more the pain at the time of the separation. This is the reality. If you stay there, you are underestimating your potential. Number one, you are underestimating your own potential, number inside. Because this is not your reality. This is not who you are. That your true reality, your true nature. I'm not talking about the esoteric reality, you believe in this. No. Empirical reality. That your true nature is not that you have a tremendous more the affection, more the pain. This is not your true nature. This is the superficial nature. Your true nature is you have expansive affection, no pain. This is your true nature. This is not what the Buddha has invented. This is not what the Buddha has created. This is a reality. Even before the Buddha came, this is our reality, your reality, my reality. Believers' reality, non-believers' reality. It's a reality for everyone. Only thing is that when we say that no, it is not possible, full stop. You are creating your own dead end. You don't go beyond this. So just maintain open mind. Okay, that's interesting. If it is possible, that's amazing. Is it possible? You're getting it? Maintain open mind. Is it possible? Answer is yes. If yes, how? How? Don't just stay there. How? Okay. For this, the one example, the Arya Nagarjuna, incredibly great teacher, 1st century Indian great master, 1st century. What is said? He gave a beautiful analogy. Say in dark, say you have an exam the next day, and you have to prepare, you have to study, but the power cut. And now it is all laptop. In the olden times, right? You have to read the real book, solid book. You have to read the books. So there's power cut, and you have no light. Then you say, there's no light. Tomorrow I have to sit for an exam, I have to study. Then I tell you that you go to room A. In room A, there's an extremely bright light there. You go there, you say, there's no light there. So I said, yes, there is a light. You say, no, it's dark. Did you see a vase there, a picture, a vase there? Yes, I did see something there. Inside, there's a light there. Right? Inside, there's a light. Okay. So, superficially, you see dark. You don't see light. So, superficially, you see that there's no hope. It's full of pain. Where there's affection, there's a pain. This is a superficial reality. But it's obviously seen. Inside, there is something different. I said that inside the vase, there's a light. How do you know that? Right? How do you know that there's a light inside this? So what I tell you is that, so this is the analogy given by Nagarjuna. It's not my analogy. So what he taught is that you punch a hole from any direction of the picture, any direction, you punch a hole. What happens? You punch a hole. From the hole, the light beams forth from inside. The light comes out from that. Okay, it may be accidental. There's maybe one beam of light is there, but not that there's a bright light everywhere. Then smash the picture. Smash the picture. Then the light inside will escape to every direction of the house. You're getting it? So this picture is a mental darkness, mental defilement, our mental problems. This is not your true nature. You say, no, it's not possible. I'm sad, I'm angry. These are not your reality. This is the superficial reality. Your reality is extremely beautiful. Your reality, just as this light is so healing to see spreading everywhere. Your compassion spreads to everywhere. Everyone. Your compassion is not limited to your husband, wife, parents, children, but was all the beings. It's amazing. So there's so much of joy, but there's no pain. What is the pain? Pain is operating on the level of feeling. And then your mind feeling resistant to this pain. And then we call that as a grief. You don't want it, yet you are having it. So one form of that is the grief on the intention level. So that is because of the pain. Pain is so much. So this pain is on the feeling because of the particular set of discrimination. So discrimination, at that point, when all these, the picture-like mental defilement, when that is removed completely, ignorance is removed completely. What replaces ignorance? Say when the darkness is removed, what comes instead of the darkness? Light comes. Likewise, the ignorance is dispelled, the wisdom comes. With the wisdom, then the what? Wisdom is on the discrimination level. With the correct wisdom, profound, vast, correct wisdom, then what happens? There's a change in the feeling. Pleasant feeling comes. With the pleasant feeling, mind will not resist. Grief stops. Grief stops. But your mind is like the light. Your compassion is not compromised. Your affection is not compromised. Pain stops, but your compassion is not compromised. Why? Because when all the mental defilements are gone, the picture is broken. Then the light inside will flow spontaneously to the direction of the house. So your light, meaning your mind spreads, reaches out to all the beings. For example, how does the anger and being judgmental, anger behaves, and how the compassion behaves? What's the difference? Anyone? Suspicion as opposed to compassion. Suspicion versus compassion, or anger versus compassion. How do they differ in your mental state? Anyone? Just share with us. Paradiji. No, I'm talking about, let's be very precise, compassion versus Good. Compassion versus aversion. So compassion is expansive. Aversion restricts you, right? Aversion restricts. For example, say if I'm doubtful of Dr. Shant, right? Then they say Dr. Savita and Bharati and Joyce, right? If I'm suspicious of them, then I'll not go close to them, right? My mind will restrict myself. So this imprisoning your mind is imprisoning you. What is prison? Prison is a small space beyond which you cannot go. You agree? So your mind, this, let's say the aversion, anger, restricts your mind and put you in your own prison of your own mind. Because now you cannot go close to Dr. Savitaji, right? Because there you show anger, you cannot go close to Dr. Shant, right? So you cannot go close to anybody. Then your mind is restricted. This is known as imprisonment of your mind. Okay. Whereas compassion, what Bharati just said, compassion is expansive. It doesn't restrict you. You getting it? So your mind, the true nature of mind is like the light. It's so expansive. So your compassion is not compromised. Affection is not compromised. Affection increases, in fact. Affection increases with no pain. Pain becomes zero. Because the pain is gone, grief is not there. Compassion is not compromised. Compassion is there. Your compassion increases. You're getting it? This is a beautiful practice. Okay, so with this in mind, what we said, going back to our point, is that when you see the other person as objectively real, what Sonaji said, when you see the other person as objectively real, your emotions, you lose control of your emotions. Involuntarily, your emotions erupt in the form of smile, in the form of anger, in the form of restriction, your mind constricting. Anger, your mind constricts. Jealousy, your mind constricts. And heaviness comes. So, all these involuntary movement of the mind happens because of the seeing things objectively real. When you see things objectively nice, attractive, again, involuntary pull happens. Involuntary pull happens. When you see things objectively repulsive, involuntary push happens. Involuntary pull and push is the loss of freedom. You agree? Loss of freedom is misery. You agree? Yesterday, what we said, if you're watching a movie, television with your younger little brother, and the remote control, who's going to keep the remote control? You can keep it in your hand or in the brother's hand, yourself, because I want to have the freedom to choose which channel. You getting it? So therefore, lack of freedom is misery. Lack of freedom is misery. So grief is a part of misery. So this will, from this seeing things as objectively real, creates a platform for the miseries. Loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is misery. Say, oh, it looks nice. It looks nice. It's so beautiful, I like it. It's an involuntary pull. This involuntary pull. Involuntary connotes lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is suffering. I like chocolate. I like cheesecake. You're getting it? When I say cheesecake, when I talk about cheesecake, people think that I like cheesecake. So next day people bring big cheesecake. Right? It happened in Singapore. Okay. So the point is that when we say I like cheesecake, it's all like no, that's not a problem. I like it. It's good. Actually, there's nothing good in it. This is loss of freedom. You don't have the freedom. Involuntary pull happens. Involuntary pull happens. One time, there was a lecture by renowned neuroscientist in Delhi University. And after the lecture, there was a lunch for all the participants. And I was with one of the lady professors of Delhi University. And after the lunch, the main course, then there was a dessert, a cake, cheesecake was there. And I did not take. And the lady professor went to take and brought the cheesecake. And she said, you do not have the cheesecake. I said, no, it's good, but I'll not have it. I have to control it, otherwise my tummy is becoming bigger. So she said, oh, that's true. Also, I also have to control my diet, but it's cheesecake. But I cannot control, I cannot resist having it. So tell me how to manage it, how to control I like cheesecake. How to control that? You getting it? I like cheesecake. There's nothing good in it. You getting it? I like to benefit others. It's very good. I like cheesecake. There's nothing good in it. You getting it? That loses your control. I like to benefit others. It does not lose your control. It gives control. Stronger control. You getting it? Although both take the form of liking. One is destructive and one is constructive. But don't be scared of having cheesecake. You can enjoy, it's fine. Right? Don't be too scared of cheesecake. Oh, he said it, that's very true, right? Okay, so with this in mind, in other words, in short, what we're learning is that when we see things as objectively real, there's a person there, then loss of control happens. Emotions invariably or spontaneously, the emotions come into existence. Emotions arise without your control. So there's degree of loss of control. You getting it? Loss of control is misery. Okay. So whereas when you see things as subjective, what Sonalji said, when you see things that you just imagine that person, the same face, but you will not, the smile does not come automatically. Which means that your emotions are under control. You know that this is just subjective. It's not objective. In other words, when you see things as subjective, control over your emotions come to you. When you see things objective, loss of control of the emotions happen. Loss of control is misery. And seeing things subjective, freedom from miseries happen. Freedom from loss of control happens. So our job is to try to see how things are all subjective. Within the subjectivity, there are 5 levels. You're getting it? There are 5 levels. Okay, don't feel demoralized. Oh, now I'm almost feeling some kind of light with joy. Yes, I have to see subjective. Then the control will happen. Now subjective, there are 5 levels. Don't worry. You're getting it? If you're very serious, there's always an easy way to study these. Okay. Having said this, let me again read the second verse. Yes. Okay. Okay, Dr. Savitri, you close your eyes. Think of the person who made you smile. Now you are not thinking of that person, you are thinking of this process, right? This process makes you smile, not the person's face. You're getting it? So don't do it here, do it in your home and see how it works. You're getting it? In your home, you know that nobody's checking me. So in your mind, subconsciously, you know that people are watching me now, right? So you are smiling at that. You are not smiling at the face of the person. If you still smile at the face of the person, then it's time for you to go to mental hospital. Okay, so now we have to rush. Okay, good. So what we said thus far, seeing things as objectively real leads to loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is miseries. Okay, in other words, all our miseries are a result of seeing things as objectively real, which is ignorance. And one ignorance which underscores all our problems, all our miseries, is the ignorance which misconceives things as objectively real. This is what we have to know. Now, on the contrary, so sometimes people say that, oh, in Buddhism, everything is suffering. This is too naive. You're getting it? What is suffering? Suffering is when we misconceive things as objectively real. When you see things as subjectively real, that gives joy. Not that everything is suffering. That gives tremendous joy, very stable joy, expansive joy. Let me repeat it. Seeing things as objectively real, this is misconception, ignorance, resulting in all forms of loss of freedom, miseries. Seeing things as subjectively real, this is wisdom. This will give rise to your joy, the expansive joy, happiness, stability of your mind. Okay, so with this in mind, the author, yesterday the letters were too small. Lama Tsongkhapa, can you read this? Okay. Second verse reads, whatever degenerations, meaning the miseries, the problems that are in the world, the root of all these is ignorance. Which ignorance? There are so many layers of ignorance. The worst of which is ignorance which sees things as objectively real. You taught that, you, referring to the Buddha, taught that it is dependent origination, the seeing of which will undo this ignorance. Okay, so we need to know this information a little bit. Buddha Shakyamuni, before he became Buddha, he was a Prince Siddhartha. He left the palace. He went in the forest, wilderness to practice. First he sought the help of one teacher, Acharya Alarakala. Then he reached the same level as the teacher, and he asked for more teachings. And the teacher said that you have already accomplished everything. And the Buddha said, no, I came here to learn how to relieve all the sentient beings from their suffering. There's so much of miseries in the world. And I came here to learn how to solve the problems of all the beings. And I did not get the solution still. Then he sought the help of second teacher, Acharya Uddiraga. He was extremely open-minded to learn from anybody who has the capacity to teach him how to help others, to get the miseries of others solved. The second teacher, Acharya Uddiraga, whose meditative experience is way higher than the first one. Again, the Prince Siddhartha, he reached the same level as the second teacher. And the Prince Siddhartha asked for more teachings. And the teacher said, no, you have reached everything. You have accomplished everything. You stay with me. All my students, they are your students. Teach them. And then the Prince Siddhartha said, no, I did not come here to just learn some meditation. I come here to learn, to learn the solution, to learn the path, which has the ability to relieve the suffering of all the beings. So he left. Then he went in search of the path. For 6 years, he was in a sort of penance or austere practice. And finally, he saw this reality. He discovered this reality that nothing exists objectively. Everything is like dream. When you discover it, then you stop all the nightmares. You fail to discover it, you are in the dream, and the nightmares continues to torment you. So he discovered how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Which ignorance? Ignorance which misconceives things as objectively real, while the reality is nothing exists objectively. Okay, this is the point. So having said this, yesterday we were here. Okay, now it's a little technical. I'll try to make it as easy, as simple, but if you feel technical, I'm not really surprised. It is technical. Okay, by grasping at it meaning the child is strength and bondage to extreme views. Grasping at it refers to dependent origination. Say, what we learned the last 2 days is that emptiness and dependent origination, these are two sides of the same coin. Which means that a smart person, when they see dependent origination, will see the emptiness. What is emptiness? Emptiness is not nothingness. What is emptiness? Anyone? Empty for objective existence, not that nothing. You're getting it? Emptiness is a short form of emptiness of objective existence. Okay, so smart people, when they see dependent origination, will invariably connect the person to understand emptiness, that nothing objectively exists, they exist subjectively. But some people, they see the, okay, say, let me say, if I tell you, if I ask you, what is this? What will you say? What is this? Huh? Okay, so the Mag said this is finger, and the daughter said this is AC. You're getting it? Same. Mag, I'm sorry. Small children will say, what is this? This finger. You're getting it? But elders will say, this is, you're pointing to the AC. There is AC. You're getting it? Okay. So that finger is a means. Is a means, is not what I'm pointing at. You're getting it? Is the means which I use to identify the AC, air conditioner. You're getting it? But the small children will say, this is finger. You're getting it? Okay. So finger is the means, not the end. So some people, they're trapped by the means, could not get the end. In this case, finger is like the dependent origination, and the AC is like the emptiness. So when I saw the, what is this? Some people will attach to the finger, right? A finger, and then there's this dependent origination. They forget the emptiness. So these are the unwise people. You're getting it? For example, they say, what's the difference between the dog and the lion? Some of you know this very famous thing. The dog, if you throw a stone, the dog will chase after the stone, not the person. Lion, you throw a stone at the lion will not chase the stone, the lion will chase the thrower. You're getting it? Likewise, so some people, they attach to dependent origination, they forget the emptiness. Dependent origination means to get to emptiness. You're getting it? Means you get emptiness. So it says, by grasping at it, for some people, like the small children, they when the Buddha taught dependent origination, it refers to dependent origination. The childish strengthen the bondage to extreme views. Which extreme views? Yesterday we said, extreme nihilism and extreme of absolutism, two extremes. They don't see emptiness, they go into one of the extremes. For the wise people, this very fact, which fact? Dependent origination. Very fact of dependent origination is the doorway to cut free from the net of elaborations. What is elaboration? Elaboration is ignorance viewing things as objectively real. Okay, why this ignorance is referred to as elaborations? How many you have? Okay, let us look at this hall. Just look at this very quickly. 360 degree. Just look around. Look at this hall. Okay. Did you see any details? Did you see details? Yes? Yes, the curtains, and even the curtains, the holders there, then the tube lights, the table, the whiteboard, the screen, and then the back. What is that? The wall with this, what is that? Soundproof wall. And all this, how many such details are there? Tell me. How many such details are there? How many? Innumerable details are there. Even with the curtain, if you go very look at it, even the curtain, to look at the details, it will take you a whole day. Even the curtain, it's not just the maroon color. You go there, you see the designs. Designs are amazingly done. You're getting it? So the point is that there are innumerable details there. Okay. Does it happen the same way in the dream? Can you have a dream where you are attending a class? Yes. Can you have a dream where you are attending a class? Yes. And somebody tells you that look at all the details, and you see all the details. In some cases, let's say that, so what is the tallest building in Goa? Tallest building or biggest building? Any idea? Okay, let's say that you you dreamed of being in Manhattan. All these high-rise buildings are there. And you go there, each building has hundreds of thousands of windows. Yes? And so many cars, Delhi, so many cars there. And the car with the plate numbers, different numbers. You see all these things. Can you imagine that these things can happen in the dream? Yes? When you wake up, so these are all the details. Elaboration meaning details. When you wake up, all these details will dissolve. In what way? Coming to know that these details are all coming from our mind. Yes? What happened in the dream, they're all just coming from your mind, nothing really from the object. So here, when I say that these all details are coming from your mind, you say, no, they are really there. My mind cannot create this. Your mind can create this. Same thing can happen in dream. So these are known as the details or the elaborations, misconceiving things as objectively real. Okay, so for the wise, emptiness and dependent origination, these two are the two sides of the same coin. For the wise, this very fact of dependent origination is the doorway to understand the cut free from the net of elaborations. What is net of elaborations? Grasping at objective reality. So this will be cut. How this will be cut? To see things that all are subjectively real. Nothing objectively exists. Okay. Since this teaching is not seen elsewhere, you alone are the teacher. Meaning that in this world, say Prince Siddhartha was struggling till that point because his two teachers, they could not teach this concept that everything is subjectively real. Nothing is objectively real. Could not teach that. Because of which, you alone are the teacher. Like calling a fox a lion, the contemporaries of Buddha Shakyamuni, and they could not teach this. Like calling a fox a lion for a Tirthikas, it would be a word of flattery. Wondrous teacher. So you, somebody who taught that nothing exists objectively. So when you see everything as, say, the dream is all subjective, objective. Dream, subjective, objective. Subjective. When will you see that all the contents of dream is subjective? When do you see that? When you wake up. When you wake up. When you wake up, you get the reality. You get access to the reality. That all the contents of the dream, all the elaborations of the dream, they're nothing but your mental creation. So it says that you are the teacher who taught this, that all are like dreams. Wondrous refuge. Meaning that you taught this, if I practice this, if I know this, then I will wake up from the sleep of ignorance. I will be protected from the fears, the nightmare. Wondrous speaker, how you spoke without any contradiction. Wondrous savior, I pay homage to the teacher who taught well, dependent origination. Okay, to help heal sentient beings. Why Prince Siddhartha taught this, or the Buddha taught this? For what reason? Because he was not satisfied with just a meditative experience. He got the highest level of meditative experience with the first two teachers. He was not happy. So, because that, he realized that he still did not get the solution to heal all the sentient beings. To help heal sentient beings, O benefactor, you have taught the peerless reason to ascertain emptiness. What's that reason? Reason of dependent origination to understand emptiness, the heart of the teaching. Okay, listen. This way of dependent origination. By the way, tell me, who is the best teacher? What is the best teacher? The physics teacher? Experience teacher? Experience in what? Physics? Or Professor Savityaji, what is your field? Biotechnology? Experience in biotechnology or physics? Or what? What's the best teacher? Huh? Life is the best teacher. Oh, I'm talking about the literally as a teacher. Teacher of moral science is the best teacher. Anyone else? Huh? No, teacher of what subject? Yeah. Which is the best teacher? Teacher, maths is the best teacher. Well, she's interested in physics, maths, I know. Sonalji, you're not. So why you said why maths? Out of thousands of subjects, why did you pick up maths? Moral values. This is the best teacher. Are you sure? Anyone else? Just speak your mind. If you have something else, right? Speak your mind. Huh? Anyone quick? Yes, sociology. Okay, anyone else? Don't be too rigid with the convention. You know, when I say that, what subject? You don't have to pick a particular subject. You want to say something different? Say it. Yoga. Wisdom.
Some say, but he's
No, he should say it. Yes, Mark.
absent teacher, he said.
Yes, the Mark.
Yes, absent teacher.
Huh?
Absent teacher.
Okay, teacher who is absent all the time. Okay. The girl over there? Psychology? Okay, anyone else? Huh? You want to biology? Okay, you don't have to stick to this, what I said, the subject. Not necessary. Best teacher over there, the lady over there?
Now I would say Google is the best.
Google is a very dangerous teacher. Is a very dangerous teacher. It can teach you the most of his thing. It is smartest of the teacher. It is the dullest of the teacher. It teaches you all the garbage also, right? Good things are there, bad things are there. Okay. Teacher, same. Experience, right? So for you, what is the best teacher? The teacher who teaches subject which I like to study. You getting it? And that teacher should have the experience, good knowledge, good mind, compassion, and so forth. But, for example, when I was class 9, 10, 11, 12, for 4 years, 9, 10, 11, 12, for 4 years, I was crazy after physics. So one of my friends, 1 year senior to me, very close friend, and he left for America. And in those days, okay, to cut it short, he told to me, not emails, in those days, no emails, just you have to aerogram, you have to buy the envelope, and so younger ones, you have no idea. So he sent me a letter saying that, what do you want from America? And I wrote, I want a big picture, poster of Albert Einstein. It never came. Already 30 years passed. You're getting it? Which means that I'm so infatuated with physics. I was, not am. So the point is that, so what is best? It depends on what you like. If you are somebody who wants to be free from all the grief, who wants to be free from all the problems, right? The person who teaches you, that is the best teacher. So since that we want to heal ourselves from all the problems, loss of freedom, to heal this loss of freedom, heal the miseries. For this, somebody has to teach us how everything's like a dream, and to teach us how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So that teacher, for you, is the best. Otherwise, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is very smart. His Holiness says that what is best religion? There's no one best religion. It depends on what illness you are suffering. Which medicine is best for you? Which medicine is best? There's no best medicine. If you are suffering tuberculosis, tuberculosis is the best medicine for you. And the other medicines are irrelevant. Whereas you are suffering from, say, the allergy, allergy medicine is best for you. Others are irrelevant. If you're suffering from cancer, then the chemo is the best. So likewise, it depends on your situation. Likewise, for those of us who want to be freed from miseries of samsara, when you know this technique, that why do we have to face these miseries? Even the miseries can be brought to an end by waking up from the sleep of ignorance. If that works, that is the teacher. So it says that for this way of dependent origination, those who perceive it as contradictory or as unestablished, how can they comprehend your system? Your meaning, the Buddha, saying that this way of dependent origination, those who perceive it as contradictory or as unestablished, meaning that contradictory meaning, what is dependent originated should not be empty. Emptiness and dependent origination seen as contradictory. Then some other groups say that, no, things are not dependent originated, things are independent. So, dependent origination as unestablished. These people cannot understand the path which you taught, the path how to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. For you, when one sees emptiness, whereas for you, somebody who is wise, when one sees emptiness, not nothingness, emptiness in the form of dependent origination or in the form of middle way. For you, when one sees emptiness in terms of the meaning of dependent origination, they being devoid of intrinsic existence and possessing valid functions do not contradict. This is a very important statement. Say many people, they think that the emptiness means nothing, there's nothing existing. So if nothing exists, then how can you account for the functionality of the world? How can you account for the functionality of the world? When somebody is very kind, gentle, life is better. When somebody is very rude and angry, the person's life is miserable. When somebody does not study, always into alcoholism, the life is miserable. Somebody is very serious, kind, learned, the person gets somewhere. So there is an efficacy of the functionality of the world. How can I explain this? So people see that emptiness and the function of the world, these two are contradictory. Whereas if you understand emptiness properly, not only that these two don't contradict, they're complementary to each other. They complement each other. So it says, for you, when one sees emptiness in terms of the meaning of dependent origination, then being devoid of intrinsic existence and devoid meaning empty of intrinsic, empty of objective existence on the one hand, and possessing valid functions, these two do not contradict. They complement each other. Whereas one sees the opposite. If you see the opposite, emptiness and dependent origination, the two cannot be complementary to each other. Two cannot complement each other. These two are opposite. Since there can be no function in emptiness, for those people, emptiness means no function. Function means not empty, objectively real. Since there can be no function in emptiness, no emptiness in what is function, one falls in the dreadful abyss you maintain. You fall into this problem. Because when you say that this object real means, there should be, the function means object real. Object means that you are in the dream. You are in the dream means you loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is misery. So you continue to suffer in the miseries. Therefore, in your teaching, seeing dependent origination is hail. Seeing dependent origination. This is extremely important. Okay, let me check how many of you understand dependent origination on a subtler level. Ready? Can I check it? Yes, there is sense. Can I check? Okay, Dr. Savithi's students will say yes, because Dr. Savithis already said yes. Right? Okay. So let's say that this is very important. What it says here is that the seeing dependent origination, this is so important. Even in the conventional world, you are doing biotechnology, or you are doing sociology, you are doing psychology, you are doing physics, whatever subject you are doing, if you understand dependent origination on a subtler level, you can really shine in your discipline. You're getting it? For example, if you're a leader, you can become a brilliant leader. To be very honest, let's say that if all the world leaders are like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, no wars, 100%. All trillions and trillions of dollars wasted on the missiles can all be invested on public health care, public welfare. Such a waste. Because of not seeing dependent origination. Okay, now let me see the go on. Right? Dependent origination. Okay, I seek your advice. I seek advice. And I'm going to create a scenario. You getting it? Don't think this is real. I'm creating a scenario and I seek your advice. And what advice go and give me? Right? Okay, let me see. I live in Delhi. In Delhi, in the month of May, the weather is very dry and hot. All what I say, don't forget, these are the very important information. Doctors, when a patient comes, we'll try to gather the history, the case study. Likewise, I'm giving the information. I live in Delhi. In the month of May, the weather is weather is hot, I would say, hot and dry. And the two, I'm on the 3rd floor. You're getting it? But because of some dampness, I have asthma issue. I don't want this asthma problem. What should I do? I seek your advice. Just raise a hand. Okay. Give me advice. Anyone? Hey, go on. No advice. Yes, Divika. Oh, this is okay. Good. Anyone else? I don't want to have this asthma problem. What advice would you give me? Raise hands. The girl over there. What advice would you give me? I don't want to have asthma problem. It's a huge problem. What should I do? No, I have the asthma problem. What's your name? Huh? Shravya. Okay. Anyone else? What advice would you give me? Yes. Oh, yeah. Anyone else? The lady over there? What advice would you give me? Okay. Second appointment. Second appointment, Dr. Anita ji. Okay. So which means I have to come to Goa? Which Dr. Savitri is saying. Anyone else? What advice would you give me? Huh? Huh? Okay. Okay. Good. Anyone else? Sonalji?
Number one is it's dry outside. Let's understand what's happening within you. What is the trigger of that of your asthma? Is the first question. Because the trigger may be from it may be outside, you may think it's outside, but it's actually coming from within. Why is your body
The moment I'm out of my house for some days, asthma is gone. The moment I come into the house, again the next day asthma starts. There's no AC in my room. Okay, the girl over there. Open the window so mosquitoes will come. Anyone else? Any advice? No advice. Yoga therapy. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, take the medicine as a Mark. Huh?
Heaven helps the man who helps himself.
No, so what is the advice? Doctor. Is this what you're saying, Mark? Go to a proper doctor? Okay. Anyone else? Dr. Shanti? Dr. Shant? What advice would you give me? Okay. Think of relativity, right? Think of relativity. Think of relativity, then it's fine. So, which means I cannot get over the asthma. No, it's bothering me. I know that there's a way by which this asthma can be corrected. If there's no cure, then better think of relativity. Right. Anyone else? Okay. Yes, over there.
Problem is with the dampness inside the mouth.
Yeah.
You get a civil engineer or somebody to check it up first.
Okay. Okay. So in a way, I would say that they go and they're smart. The advice, most of the advice, they're coming to the same point. Look for the cause of the dampness. What is causing the dampness? This girl, what's your name? Shravya, right? She's very precise. So Shravya tells me, Geshe, don't listen to other people. Hospital, doctor, open the window, yoga, no need, right? Give me 5 minutes. Can I enter your room? Right? Yes. Then she goes in and check all the pipelines. Then he said, there's a fine crack there. And then says that, Geshe, give me 10 rupees. You getting it? 10 rupees. And she went and she came up with the, what is that, M-seal? M-seal, the glue, 10 rupees M-seal. Huh? So, and she asked me, 70 rupees, right? 70 rupees. And then she brought the M-seal, right? M-seal. And with the 70 rupees, then finish, problem solved. I don't have to go to hospital. I don't open the windows to welcome the mosquitoes, right? Then what else? I don't have to shift the place, right? And then I don't have to console myself. Okay, stay calm, peaceful. Okay, it's fine. There were situations there, right? Problem fixed. In other words, finally say, of course, let's say in this house, because you are in Delhi, there's a problem. You're getting it? Because this house, dampness is in Delhi. So you can go out of Delhi and come to Goa. But that is not the very precise reason dependent upon which this problem arises. The precise reason is the crack there on the pipeline. When that is fixed, all problems. So therefore, you have to know the ultimate reason dependent upon which all the problems arise, dependent origination, right? So once you know that, then you say then there's nothing objectively real there. Okay. Therefore, in your teaching, seeing dependent origination is hailed. That too, not as what is dependent origination? Not as an utter non-existence, not nihilism, nor as an intrinsic existence, nor as an objective existence. No, not as the utter non-existent meaning, that not nihilism, and then not as intrinsic existence meaning, not absolutism. Away from the two extremes, middle way. 4:37. What time should I stop? Okay, 5 more minutes. Then now, let's see. What we learned is emptiness and dependent origination. These are two sides of the same coin. You getting it? Same emptiness. This is one thing that I'll share with you is that how many of you use tea strainer? Okay, the lady over there. Why do you use tea strainer? What's the purpose of tea strainer? So to let freely flow the drinkable tea and hold back the non-drinkable tea leaves, right? To separate the two. within the emotions, there are two emotions. One, which is very healthy emotions, like compassion, understanding, calmness. And unhealthy emotions like anger, craving, jealousy, fear, grief, and so forth. There are healthy emotions and all the unhealthy emotions, like the drinkable tea and the non-drinkable tea leaves. So the tea strainer, it separates the two and let freely flow the drinkable tea and hold back, stop the non-drinkable tea leaves. Likewise, within emotions, we have to segregate the two emotions. So healthy emotions, which are extremely good for you, compassion, understanding, generosity, and so forth. And then the unhealthy emotions such as anger, craving, jealousy, fear, anxiety, depression, anguish, so forth. We have to separate the two. What helps us to separate the two? And not only separate, that enrich the healthy emotions and stop the unhealthy emotions. What helps us to do that is the understanding of the emptiness and dependent origination, two sides. By seeing emptiness, all the unhealthy emotions will stop. By seeing dependent origination, all the healthy emotions will be enriched. So you become full of happiness, the abundance of happiness. Your miseries keep diminishing all the time. Your anguish, grief, anxiety, and so forth keep diminishing all the time. Overall, you become a very happy person. Okay. I remember particularly there's a course, this is 6 months course, and this one 5 years course. There's another 1 year course. There's one gentleman who did the course. And after about like 4 or 5 months of the course, he came to me and told me that, okay, this is particular for the young boys, right? So he said that, Geshe, you wouldn't understand, you wouldn't know how much the course helped me in my real life. I said, in what way? He said that I always carry a hockey stick in my car. I said, why do you carry the hockey stick? What for? I thought that he's so crazy after hockey. He said, no, that's very simple. When you go in the traffic, then somebody cuts, you get out with the hockey stick, and then job starts. What? Fighting. And then he said, then in what way this course helped you? He said that after this course, Nalanda studies course, like 1 or 2 months, then I realized that this hockey in my car has no work. Hockey stick in my car does not have any work. How? He said that my mind has changed. When I drive, somebody cuts, I stop the car and let the person pass by. And then I drive. It's very easy, you don't have to waste your time. And the hockey stick does not have any work. So I discarded it. This is amazingly beautiful. It's amazingly beautiful. And there are a number of people, after studying these concepts like objective, subjective, and so forth, many of them reported that there's one particular lady professor from America who was the professor in America and said that, now retired, said that I have found a new life now. New life. Otherwise, thus far, I have wealth, money, position, everything, but my mind, I find something hollow. Something is not there. Now I feel the purpose of my life. This is very beautiful. So therefore, this would be extremely beneficial. So emptiness and dependent origination. Seeing emptiness, all the destructive emotions are stopped. Seeing dependent origination, your compassion grows, your understanding grows, and your joy grows. Okay. Next, because intrinsic nature cannot be negated if phenomena possess some intrinsic nature. Now let's say we talk about the opposite. Let's say what we are learning is emptiness of objective existence. and the opposite of which is objective existence. Emptiness is objective existence, which is same as emptiness of independent existence versus independent existence too. Okay, there so at the moment I'm just rushing through, otherwise we have to go through all the synonyms. Intrinsic nature, objective existence, independent existence, they all mean the same. Let me repeat it. Intrinsic nature here is used as synonymous with objective existence. So what we are rejecting is there's no objective existence, but we continue to see things as objectively real. Okay, what we did yesterday, again you pick up something which is with you and show that to me. Pick up whatever is with you, show that to me. Okay, now not only you show that to me, you also look at it yourself. Look at it yourself and see how the object appears to you. As objectively real or as subjective. How does it appear to you? Raise hands, tell me. How does object appears to you? Objectively real or subjectively real? As objectively real. Very good. And you see things objectively real when? Only when you are in the university or when you are outside? When in the daytime or in the nighttime? Day, when you are in both ways. Waking up, in the nighttime, daytime, both. In the university, outside the university, both, right? When you're sleeping, in other words, 24/7, we see things as objectively real. In other words, our mind is obscured, blurred from having the vision of reality. Our mind is blurred from having the vision of reality 24/7. So therefore, how can we expect to be happy? You're getting it? So if we really want to be happy 24/7, get away from this, the blurriness, which blurs us from having the vision of the reality. How to do that? You have to learn how to see things. What I'm seeing is not the reality. The reality is something different. And there's a whole systematic study there. So this will help. Okay. Now reading the text. Because intrinsic nature cannot be negated. If something does exist intrinsically, if something does exist objectively, it cannot negate it. If phenomena possess some intrinsic nature, then if that is the case, what is then they say the things that we are suffering, it should become objectively existent suffering, independent existent suffering. If it is independent existent suffering, nothing can change it. You agree? If something is independently a nature of suffering, nobody can change it. For example, let's say that somebody says that, okay, I need you to talk to Dr. Savitaji, I need her help, but I cannot talk to her, right? I need, please help, talk to her. Then, if I tell her that, no, Dr. Savitaji is a very independent person, she will never listen to me. She's very independent, right? Independent means, I can't influence her. So independence have the connotation that you cannot change it. So therefore, if you are suffering, this suffering cannot be changed to no suffering. Suffering should remain forever as suffering. If things exist independently. But the reality is that nothing exists independently. So therefore, suffering can be changed. Suffering can be removed. Okay. Nirvana. So nirvana is a very technical term. In a secular context, nirvana is freedom from miseries, as simple as that. Freedom from miseries. Or total freedom, gaining total freedom. That is nirvana in a secular context. Nirvana or total freedom. Freedom from lack of, what is that? Freedom from miseries. Nirvana or freedom from miseries would become impossible if things are independently real. And because of which, elaborations, meaning that things as object real, could not be seized. You taught, this is what you, the Buddha, taught. Therefore, who could challenge you? You who proclaimed with lion's roar in the assembly of learned ones repeatedly that everything is utterly free of intrinsic nature, utterly empty of independent existence or objective existence. Meaning everything is dependent originated. That there is no intrinsic existence at all, and that all functions as this arising and depends on that. So now look, on the one hand, emptiness. On the other hand, we talk about emptiness, dependent origination as the two sides of the same coin. So one side is no intrinsic existence, which is emptiness. On the other side is dependent origination, which means, and that all functions as this arising in depends on that. What is that? Dependent origination. So dependent origination on the one hand and emptiness on the other hand, what need is there to say that these two converge without conflict? These two complement each other. They don't contradict. It is through the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards the extreme. Which extreme? Extreme of nihilism and extreme of absolutism. That you, okay, is there anybody who can explain to me how by understanding dependent origination, you will not lean to one of the two extremes? You remember? Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? We learned about dependent, say, emptiness equals dependent origination, and dependent origination equals the middle way. Therefore, emptiness equals the middle way, right? Okay. Second verse, it is through the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards the extremes. That you, the Savior, have declared this excellently as a source of your unexcelled speech. So this is what the Buddha discovered, or the Prince Siddhartha discovered, after meeting with the two teachers, Acharya Alarakam, Acharya Udrika, and then he did not get the solution. Then he left for 6 years of more practice, and he discovered this reality that emptiness and dependent origination, these are the two sides of the same coin. Okay. All of this is devoid of essence. All of this devoid of essence means devoid of objective essence, on the one hand. On the other hand, from this arises that effect, dependent origination. From this originates that effect. These two certainties complement each other with no contradiction at all. What is more amazing than this, what is more marvelous than this, if one praises you, the Buddha, in this manner, this real praise, otherwise not. Okay. Being enslaved by ignorance, those who fiercely oppose you. What is, okay, now, I think this is a little technical, but not difficult. Let me first give you the background. Say that before Prince Siddhartha became enlightened, there were teachers who taught that things exist objectively real. So they don't accept dependent origination. They don't accept emptiness. They don't accept dependent origination. Then Prince Siddhartha became Buddha. After becoming Buddha, then he taught dependent origination. He taught emptiness. Even within his followers, I'm not going to go into detail. Within his followers, again, they are split into two. One who accepts dependent origination, but not emptiness. Would like, I pointed the finger, my finger to the AC, right? What is this? His finger. One said his finger. One said his AC. You're getting it? So those who his finger, they forget the AC. So when the Buddha taught dependent origination, one group of the Buddha's followers, they accept dependent origination, but they forgot emptiness. They don't accept emptiness. This is one group. Another group, when the Buddha taught about dependent origination, they instantly understood emptiness. So these see emptiness and dependent origination as complementary. So there are three groups. Those who were before the Buddha, they were accepting things as no dependent origination, no emptiness. Everything is independently real. One. Number two, within the Buddha's students, disciples, we see that some who accept dependent origination but not emptiness. Then the third group, the smart ones who understand emptiness and dependent origin both. There are three groups. So finally, if we want to get away from all the miseries manifest your true nature. Each one of us, we have, for example, let's say the Buddha and all these enlightened beings like Lord Mahavir, Ram, or Jesus Christ, all these great teachers, they They're amazing. They have like extremely pure 1 kg diamond. The same, 1 kg diamond. And what about us, you and me? Do you have that diamond? We also have 1 kg diamond, right? But we don't see diamond there, right? Meaning that we don't see any good qualities within me. It's all garbage within us. But for them, there's a diamond there. No, you have a diamond, but it's not visible. This diamond, the diamonds can be either the diamond in the showroom or the diamond in the ditch, right? Which diamond is more expensive? Both are 1 kg diamond from the same source. One is in the showroom and one is in the ditch. Which is more expensive? Okay, those raise hands, those who say the same. Raise hands. These two are equally expensive. Same. Raise hands. Those who say one in showroom is more expensive. Raise hands. Okay. So these people, they do not know that the showroom person will see the diamond in the ditch, pick it up, clean it, put it in the showroom. It becomes showroom diamond. You're getting it? So only expenses for the showroom person to pick it up, right? And clean it. He'll take he'll joyfully do it, right? He will not ask for money. So there's no difference in the diamond. It's the same. You clean this up and put it in the showroom, it becomes showroom diamond. That's it. There's no difference. Likewise, all these enlightened beings, like Buddha, Lord Mahavir, Ram, and so forth, Jesus Christ, so they are like the diamonds in the showroom. We are the diamonds in the ditch, unfortunately. But it's diamond, it's still diamond there, right? Still diamond there. So we have to clean this, remove the dirt. Which dirt? Ignorance. Remove ignorance, and associated with the ignorance is the selfishness. Ignorance and selfishness, remove the two. Then our diamond becomes the showroom diamond. You're getting it? It's very important. Okay. So we see that one person is not ready to remove the ignorance. Said that no, things are not dependently originated. Things are independent and real. No, things are not empty. Things are independent and real. Second group says, Buddha's teachings, who only look at the finger, not the AC, right? Not at the moon. What is this? I point to the moon or this finger? So those people are the followers of Buddha who accept dependent origin but not emptiness. Now the third one, very smart, they understand dependent origination and emptiness as complementary. You're getting it? When you understand these two things as complementary, what's the benefit? By seeing emptiness, all your destructive emotions will stop. Undesirable emotions will stop. Anger, fear, anxiety, all this will stop. And by seeing dependent origination, your compassion, your calmness, all will expand. That's the benefit. So you have to see both. With this in mind, it says, enslaved by ignorance. Those who fiercely oppose you, meaning that who say that nothing is dependent, everything is independent and real. So those who oppose you, who says that everything exists independent and real, what is so astonishing about they being unable to bear the sound of no intrinsic existence? Meaning, what is no intrinsic existence? No meaning empty. Empty of independent existence, empty of intrinsic existence, empty of objective existence. Even if they don't accept the emptiness of objective existence, it's not a surprise, because they don't accept your basic principle teaching on the dependent origination. Second line, but having accepted dependent origination, the second group, when I point my finger to the moon, what is this? They say it's finger, right? For them, they accept dependent origin, but they don't accept the moon. They don't accept emptiness. But having accepted dependent origination, the precious treasure of your speech, then not, at the same time, not tolerating the roar of emptiness. This I find amazing indeed. Okay, now, finally, if you want to get away from miseries, the last 3 days, what did we learn? If you want to get away from miseries, what should be done? We should wake up from the sleep of ignorance. You're getting it? You have to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. In what way waking up from the sleep of ignorance helps? to see that nothing exists objectively, everything is subjectively real. Okay, so it says that finally we have to, in other words, we have to understand the emptiness of objective existence. So how to understand this? By understanding dependent origination. By understanding dependent origination. So understand dependent origination like the finger pointing to the moon. So that is the means to understand what the moon is like. So the door that leads to no intrinsic existence, which means emptiness. The door or the finger that points to the no intrinsic existence, this unaccessible door of dependent origination. Understand, dependent origination. Through its name alone, second group of the people. If one grabs, if you say that you accept dependent origination, but you don't accept emptiness, you say that things exist independently, things exist intrinsically. Now this person lacks the unraveled entrance, well traveled by noble ones of the past, present, and the future. They enter the understanding of the emptiness and get to the freedom from suffering and to the expansive compassion. By what means should one guide him to the excellent path that pleases you? What is that excellent path? That the path of the understanding of emptiness, path of compassion, universal compassion. Intrinsic nature. So why this is a problem is that the author, Lama Tsongkhapa, is now explaining, the emptiness of objective existence, and the opposite of that is emptiness of objective existence, and what's the opposite of that? Objective existence. Objective existence, independent existence, and what? Intrinsic existence, they all mean the same. So you look at now the Lama Tsongkhapa is comparing the two, the author is comparing the two. Or the one is objective existence, and the other one is dependent origination, comparing the two. Intrinsic nature, what is objective existence? It means intrinsic nature. It means uncreated. There's no agent to create it. And non-contingent means independent, not dependent. This is one side. Now, on the other side is dependent origination. Contingent means dependent on other factors and created by the cause and effects. So these two, how can these two converge? So second group, who is the second group? Who accepts dependent origination but does not accept emptiness. That's the second group. So the author is rejecting the second group, saying that you accept the objective existence. Objective existence should be intrinsic nature, uncreated, and non-contingent. You also accept dependent origination. Dependent origination should be contingent, meaning dependent, and created. How can these two converge upon a single basis without contradictory? These two are contradictory, and you are accepting our contradictory positions. Therefore, whatever originates dependently, though primordially free of intrinsic existence, meaning that nothing exists subjectively, intrinsically, but still things exist dependently, appears as if does possess intrinsic existence. Although they exist dependently, they appear as objectively real, because of which, okay, anyone who can explain to me what is illusion? What do you mean by illusion? Quick, anyone? What do you mean illusion? How many of you have seen magical illusion? Raise hands. Yes. So can you explain can you explain illusion in general? What do you mean by, how do you describe something as an illusion? Quick. Say it again. Mirage is illusion. This is example. How is mirage an illusion? Okay, two questions now. One is either you give the answer to how the mirage is a illusion, or what is illusion in general? Anyone?
Seems real.
Yes, it appears in one way. It appears as real, but in actuality, it's not real. You agree? Raise hands. Like mirage. Mirage, it appears as water. It's a real water, but actually it's not a real water. So this is the meaning of illusion. So the Buddha taught that everything is like illusion, like a dream. How? That they appear in one way, they exist in a different way. They appear as objectively real, But in reality, they exist as subjectively real, not objectively real. So therefore, they are like illusion. Okay, so it says, therefore, the second line, therefore, whatever originates dependently, though primordially free of intrinsic existence, though there's no objective existence, intrinsic existence, but it appears as if it does possess intrinsic existence. So you taught all phenomena to be illusion-like. They're all like illusion. Okay. In your life, did somebody, what's the proper English verb for this? Somebody play a prank. Play? What is the word? No. What's the verb associated with it? Somebody played a prank? What do you call it? No, yes. What I'm saying is that the prankster plays a prank on me. What's the verb? To play a prank or to prank. Okay. So let's say that how many of you in your life, somebody played a prank on you? And initially you are so scared, and then you discover that it's a prank, and then your fear dissolves. Raise hands. Okay, can you give me an example? This girl there? Yes.
So my husband would sometimes stand behind the door and make a loud sound when I was coming in.
Uh-huh.
I would get really scared.
And then?
I would get really scared.
No, then when you realize it's a prank, then?
I would laugh.
Okay, then the fear dissolves and you laugh. Okay, good. Okay, so why did you laugh? In the first, why did you have the fear?
Because I thought it was something horrible and scary.
Something really horrible, right? Something really horrible. When you discover that it is a prank, meaning that it's not really horrible. It's just a fun. Then you laugh. How many agree with your name? Okay, how many you agree with Afshar in a sense? Good. So this is where, when you see that things are like prank, it's a prank actually. This is not real ghost. This is not real horrible thing. It's a prank. It's an illusion. Then your fears associated will subside. You're getting it? Okay. Through this very fact, I understand well the statement that in what you have taught, those opponents who challenge you cannot find faults. Oh. Okay, yes. Through this very fact, I understand well the statement that in what you have taught, those opponents who challenge you cannot find faults that accord with reason. So therefore, all this understanding should not be done on the basis of blind faith. It must be done through rational reasoning, right? Rational reasoning and the accord with the reason. Why is this so? Because by declaring these that things are empty of objective existence, on the basis of understanding dependent origination, chances for reification as absolutism, the extreme of absolutism, exaggeration, superimposition, and denigration, which is nihilism. Chances for reification and denigration, the two extremes, towards things seen and unseen are made most remote. In other words, you'll be free from the two extremes and you'll follow the middle way. Next, through this very path of dependent origination, the rationale for your speech being peerless, conviction arises in me also, that your other words are valid too. You speak excellently by seeing as it is, meaning seeing things as it is, seeing things as empty of objective reality. For those who train in your footsteps, all degenerations, all the miseries will become remote, they will disappear. Because the root of all the faults will be undone. What's the root of all the faults, all the problems? Ignorance will be undone. But those who turn away from your teaching, meaning that those who don't understand emptiness, don't understand dependent origination, though they may struggle with hardship for a long time, faults increase evermore as it being called forth. For they make firm the view of self, meaning the view of objectively existent self. When the wise comprehend the differences between these two, who believe in independent existence versus who see the emptiness of independent existence, the difference between the two, why would they not at that point revere you from the depths of their being? Let alone your numerous teachings, even in the meaning of a small part, those who find ascertainment in a cursory way, on a very simple form or in a gross way, this brings supreme bliss to them as well. So, okay, so now I think we can easily finish. Okay, so stop here. Okay, so before I stop, I'd like to entertain one or two questions if you have. One or two questions, because now the text now the more difficult parts are already done. Now the easier ones, that's easy. We can easily finish tomorrow. Okay, questions? One or two questions if you have. Raise hands. Yes.
Sir, this is a sincere question from my observation. I'm pathologically a warrior, but a peacenik at heart. But I see Buddhists in Burma and in Sri Lanka, some of them do not celebrate the teachings of ahimsa, non-violence. Are these fringe elements, or are they manifestations of what Guru Gobind Singh said, when you run out of all peaceful methods, it's righteous to raise the sword?
Okay. So this is a very important question. What I would say is that His Holiness the Dalai Lama would say that no matter what, there is no compromise for peace. No matter what, there's no justification for violence. His Holiness. But let us keep in mind, let us be very realistic, that human beings in every religion, in every country, among the males, among the females, anywhere, there are various levels of people. Some are very mature, some are less mature. You find these in every denomination. This is reality. So the good people are there. So, say for example, with any religion, with any ethnicity, when bad things happen, if we generalize this, in a way, we are being extremely unwise, in ways that we are actually, say, kicking away even the good people. Because we have to include the good people so that the bad ones will not get the strength. Because if you say that, for example, like, let's say that, or say there's a terrorism happening in this, or this is because of this religion, there are so many good people in this particular religion. So all these people, you are saying that don't come with us. So you are isolated. So we should be extremely wise. Even this wisdom is so important. Not to, to create good people, let the good people come together. Don't push the good people away from you. Because good people are in all the religions, in all the ethnicities, in all the genders also. So therefore, the thing is that bad people are there. Who are, in other words, immature people are there. Immature people who, in the facade of protecting your religion, in the facade of protecting your ethnicity, they resolve to anger. Why? Because they don't know the solution. Discrimination is lacking. Proper discrimination is lacking of the 5 points. Discrimination, no wise information, because of which they resolve the easy solution. What's the easy solution? Anger. Anger is a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of strength. Even if it is a Buddhist person, there's no justification. It is a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of strength. Just imagine a dog. If you chase a dog, what will the dog do? Dog will run away. Dog will run away because the dog knows that there's a solution. Suddenly the dog is cornered. Cornered. Then the dog finds that there's no place to run. Now there's no solution. Now what should I do? Will attack you. You're getting it? So attack is a sign of your weakness. You finding no other solution. Always there's a solution. We are all human beings. Human beings, you cut, red blood come. Not, some countries, white blood comes. Some, no, the same blood comes. And everyone, believe it or not, anybody who grows older, white hairs come out. Whether white, black, brown, whatever, your hair may grow differently. Some people black, some people red, some people yellow, right? But when you grow old, all become white. This is reality, which means that we are all, the root is same. There's no reason why we have to fight. There's no justification to fight. There's no justification. So those people who don't find the solution, no discrimination, not getting proper information, no wise information, these people will resort to the desperate solution, desperate discrimination. What is that? Violence. And that happens in any denominations. So we have to make sure that you cannot justify the violence. We have to very strongly say this, voice against these people, whatever religion, whatever, say, the ethnicity, we have to voice the voice against them. Good? Any more questions? Yes. Oh, Mike.
So with respect to as per my understanding, we could think of like being more subjective, but so that could be one of the good ways to live a life in a way. But sir, what about being overly objective, which is now a new solution by which people are more happy? For example, there were some cases in which to overcome the grief of the daughter who was dead, they have made it with artificial intelligence, and then the person actually felt being with the daughter. So like
Being with the
daughter, with the
daughter.
AI. So now in this way there is no violence, and at the same time the unpleasant feeling also became pleasant. So how
Are you
can
sure?
we? Yes, sir.
With the artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir.
You create a artificial daughter.
So I'm saying like being overly objective could also be a solution in
Okay.
future.
You are thinking, this is very precious. You have to think, this is very precious. Okay, let's put it like this. Objective existence and objective, these two are slightly different in English. Objective, science emphasizes so much on objectivity. We should be objective. We should not, our subject mind should not influence. You're getting it? This is one connotation. Let's not forget it. This is one connotation. This objectivity and the objectivity which is being rejected here, these two are not contradictory. It's the same label, different meaning. Science emphasizes on objective being, we should be very objective. There's no room for blind faith. Blind faith is coming from purely subjective. So that objectivity which the science emphasizes and the objectivity being rejected here, these two are not same, these two are different. Let me give an example. I'm sure that some of you have heard this, like a story. There was a monk teacher and a monk student, two monks, teacher and a student. It's about the language. How the language, same word, meaning different. Then the senior monk had no exposure to computer, or the older generation. And the younger one was born in the generation of the internet. So the younger one, very strictly following the monk's rules. So the younger one double-checked with the teacher, "Sir, can I use the emails?" And the teacher said, "Okay, what is email? I have no idea." Right? He's saying something. Okay, so according to what the teacher's generation, don't have attachment, don't feel attached to anything. So the teacher said that as long as you have no attachment, it's fine. Right? Yes, as long as you have no attachment, right? Email is fine. So how can you write emails without attachment? Right there, you have to have attachment. I'm attaching this file to you, right? I already attached some all these files I sent to Roosevelt with the attachments. So the professor, the teacher said that as long as you have no attachment, it's fine. You can use the emails. You're getting it? So the meaning of the attachment in the mind of the teacher and the meaning of the attachment in the computer application, these two are very different. The same word, different meanings. You're getting it? Likewise, objectivity in the context of the science, how science is very objective, and the objectivity being rejected here, these two are very different. You're getting it? One. Number two, about what is said, somebody who lost the daughter, going to grieve, and then create an artificial intelligence. Robot, and with the voice of the daughter, right? And then the person feels happy. I would say it is not really true. This robot cannot replace the daughter. Cannot replace the daughter. I'll share you a very, very interesting anecdote. Very interesting anecdote. It is more complicated than the robot. Still, the parents were not happy. I'll share you the anecdote. What happened was that there was one great teacher in Tibet, 11th century AD. How many years ago? 1,000 years ago in Tibet, there was one great teacher who met with an accident and who was to die. So this teacher had a special power to eject his mind into another body. You getting it? So it's like the AI. Ejects his mind into another body. So that the body which met with the accident, you can throw this and enter into another body and become again alive. So this was the power that he had. And his students, they were insisting that he should perform this miracle, this power, use this power. And then he asked, okay, so now that I'm dying, before I die, bring a dead body. So there should be conditions, healthy dead body of a human being. And his students could not find a human dead body. They found a dead body of a crow. So, and they said that we could not find anything what to do. So this is the only dead body that found crow. So this teacher said, okay, now I will transfer my consciousness, the mind, into the crow. So he ejected his mind, and this body, which met accident, collapsed. And the crow stood up. And the crow was actually the son, that teacher who was also a son of another teacher. So the other teacher taught this son that you go to India because he's crow, he can fly. He doesn't require visa. Right? You fly to India, and then in India there's cemetery. There's one cemetery there, and there's going to be dead bodies there, human bodies there. You can eject your mind again there. So he flew, and when he flew and he landed that cemetery, there was a dead body of a young boy, and the people who carried the dead body, they were resting there. They put down the dead body, they were resting. And the crow came, and then crow collapsed, and the boy stood up. And the people who carried the dead body, they were so scared that this is a ghost now. So he learned a little bit of Hindi. So he spoke in Hindi to the people, don't be scared, I'm alive again. So they took him back to his two parents of the young boy who died. And the parents were so happy, 1 week, so happy. But they sense that this is not their child, right? Because this boy is extremely mature in thinking, extremely sophisticated, mature thinking. And then told the boy that you are not a son. You have a son's body, but you are not a son. Tell us the truth. You're getting it? So therefore, this is way more sophisticated than the AI. But still, for the parents, it's not the same. You're getting it? So here it's not mechanical. But in the case of AI, it's purely mechanical. You can make the difference. You're getting it? Okay, so that here we should be very objective. Objective, what people, did you hear or did you have seen that? You have heard it or you have seen it? Heard it. You're getting it? So therefore what we hear, don't trust it too much because something new is happening, they sensationalize that. You're getting it? So we should be very objective. If possible, try to see that and then to know it yourself. What's the reality? Yes.
But then I'm just saying in both stories, it's soothing, right? One was soothing to the parents who see their child alive again, and in this case, it's soothing to see some form of the person you've lost, right? But it's still an illusion. In the end, both are independent.
Not illusion, illusion-like. Illusion, illusion-like, there's a difference. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, how to bridge the two? Okay. So in fact, your name? Sujata ji. Okay, so Sujata ji was, her question is that with the generation gap, we talked about the perspectives yesterday. There's a gap in the perspectives. How we see the same thing by the two different generations. Same, and the one generation, what is a good person? Good person means, the decent person means someone who gets up early, right? Who doesn't sleep till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But today's generation, right, what's a good person means who sleep like 9 p.m., 9 a.m., 10 p.m., 10 a.m., and stay very late. I'm just joking. Okay, so there's a gap there. With the same object, they take on whether good or bad is very different. So how to bridge the two? For this, I would say that the younger ones, when I meet the younger ones, younger generation, I always tell them that you have to understand the elders. This is what I tell them. But if they have the problem, the elders, if they face a problem, if they come to me, what I would say is that you have to understand the younger ones. You have to understand the younger ones. Don't just say that this is my perspective, right? Say, in fact, try to have both perspectives. You become rich in perspectives. Then on that basis, when you meet with the elders, your age, you can accommodate them. You can be with them. When you're with the younger ones, you know their perspective, again, you can be with them, right? So this is the best thing. In other words, make yourself rich in perspectives. Good? Any more questions? Okay, we'll stop here. Good. Welcome.